Good afternoon. I am Andrea Chisholm with the Midday News for this Tuesday, December 24. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Chief Justice Brian Sykes has refused the application for leave for judicial review by former Education Minister Ruel Reid and President of the Caribbean Maritime University CMU, Dr. Fritz Pinnock. The decision was handed down this morning. The matter was heard in chambers on December 18. Mr. Reid and Pinnock were attempting to quash the criminal charges brought against them. They, along with their co-accused, will return to the St. Andrew Parish Court on January 23. With the murder tally surpassing last year's figures, the National Security Minister has declared that those numbers will not be the same in the new year. Dr. Horace Chang says based on the measures to be implemented, the country should see a significant reduction in murders. TVJ's Ashane Masters reports.
Faced with an increase in murders, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has declared that based on plans being made for the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the number will be reduced in 2020. The bold statement was made by the minister in response to just released crime figures, which show Jamaica's murder tally has surpassed last year's total. 1,302 homicides were reported up to December 21. That was 46 more people killed when compared to the corresponding period last year and 15 more than the number for all of 2018. Dr. Chang states that despite these figures, the states of emergency have resulted in decreases in crime for specific areas. He argues that the anti-crime measures are temporary and designed to give the security forces room to give quick responses to very serious situations. The National Security Minister predicts that 2020 will be the breakthrough year with more reductions in crime.
The state of emergency, have all indicated, is not the solution in the long term. It's a design to create space for us to correct the problems in the police force in particular that will create a force that has sustainable success over the criminal activities. The first real year of major investment was this year, in fact. Most of the activities and the things that are put in place will come on stream starting the last quarter into the next year. And I expect all of them will combined will give a significant contribution.
He highlighted other plans being made for structural changes to the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
In terms of correcting the numbers in the force, it's also a matter of getting some men and dress them in uniform, put them out there. They, having looked at the station for training, for example, they have just completed a whole new batch of trainers, which graduated last week, of vetted, confident professional policemen, most of them having degrees and second degrees from university level and now training as trainers in the police force, who will now begin the process of training and expand the recruiting base. These activities will come on stream over the next 12 months. But it couldn't come on stream before you review what you had, look at what is necessary, and how to proceed and expand.
Ashane Masters, TVJ News.
Counseling is being sought for families and friends affected by the December 10 murder of 4 persons in Dover, St. Catherine. Member of Parliament for St. Catherine West Central, Dr. Christopher Tupton, says he has been in dialogue with the National Security Minister for that service to be provided. He said they are working to get the autopsies done quickly.
It's a community that has been significantly traumatized. Traumatized because it's a rural community, small community. Everybody knows everybody. And so everybody can relate, not just to the horrendous nature of what took place, but also to the victims and their family members. And so it really has traumatized the community. And it's going to take a while, I think, for the community to bounce back.
SOMERSET Falls in Hope Bay, Portland is back up and running. The falls went dry as a result of drought conditions earlier this year. TVJ's Shamela Pullen reports.
Water gushing through the rocks at SOMERSET Falls in Hope Bay, Portland once again. The falls went dry for a period of about 6 months due to prolonged drought conditions that had been affecting the island. Manager at SOMERSET Falls, Jason PURAN, says since early December, they noticed that the water was coming back to the falls. business has been going well in the last couple of weeks.
Because we had great feedback, we had groups calling, our phones were ringing like crazy. We had all the guest houses and hotels that had their guests come over from overseas. They wanted to do excursions on the day. We had our locals, our biggest supporters, our locals. They were here knocking on our doors. So it's definitely a great feeling to see the support.
Business has been going well in the last couple of weeks after losing significant amount of revenue for much of this year.
The waterfall is like the main attraction here, Somerset Falls. So without the falls, we only have our water park available, you know. Water parks are, I would say, they're easily found. They're readily available on the island. So, and especially tourists, they come to Jamaica, they're here for the natural side. So a lot of persons, adults I would say, weren't so fond of the park.
Meanwhile, persons from all walks of life have been showing up to experience the attraction, including some first-time visitors.
Basically, we are here, all of us are here for the first time, and it has been an experience. We basically was taken back to where nature lies, and it has been a very good experience thus far. We've been here all morning, and as you can see, it's a late afternoon, and we're still going.
Must say that we're going to group up another time, probably more men them, and come enjoy the day, because we must come back another day. It's just due to the fact that we have work tomorrow, so we just have to just go back over. I haven't experienced waterfall, so after that, just head back home. Come from, well, very anxious, you understand? This has been my first time traveling on a boat, a matter of fact, so you must know that experience.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is assuring Jamaicans that there is no need to panic following concerns that there was an imported case of malaria in St. Catherine. Dr. Tufton said he also received a report about a case in St. James.
The truth is that we do have, I am told, up to a dozen or so imported cases each year. These are persons, when we say imported, these are persons who are abroad. Other foreigners are locals. They go to continents where malaria is endemic, so Africa, other countries, and they get bitten and they contract the virus and they come back home and then get ill. When these things happen, we have a protocol that deals with them. So they are quarantined, they are taken into hospital, quarantine. The families and communities are visited.
As Dr. Tufton pointed out, the communities with affected individuals are visited and the Health Ministry also tracks the cases.
Where there's a need to worry is if we find that it is transferred to others by virtue of mosquitoes moving the virus, and that would be a lot more challenging for us, and that would be a need for concern. To date, thank God, we haven't discovered any transfers. So it really is just to deal with them when they occur, and as I said before, there is a protocol that is in place, so the public doesn't need to panic around the issues, and we will certainly keep the public informed if there's a need to provide further information.
And it's time for a break, but stay with us. We have more stories right after these messages. Welcome back, and we're continuing the news. Miss World 2019 TONI SINGH has been described as a ray of hope and inspiration to young girls in St. Thomas. She recently toured sections of her hometown.
Residents of St. Thomas flocked the streets Sunday as the newly crowned Miss World 2019 TONI SINGH arrived in the parish of her birth during a 3-day visit to Jamaica. The festivities started in Yala Square.
So many things have been said about our little parish, and it really moves my heart to see that we have good things going on for our parish. So many things are happening, and with what happened with her, it shows that no matter where you come from, you can do something good.
You know, so the stone with the builder refused to always become the head cornerstone. So what you know, members say over the years them try to go around St. Thomas. What you know, Miss World come from St. Thomas. Artists and artists from St. Thomas. St. Thomas is the place.
TONI and as Two-Court Parish on the global stage, and we are no longer the downtrodden St. Thomas. Bless you.
It was not long before their eager eyes rested on their queen. TVJ News spoke with an emotional TONI and SINGH.
I'm trying not to cry and I'm losing my voice. I'm very overwhelmed. I can't explain to you what it means, especially because, like I said, people think we're forgotten, and I never dreamt that I would be able to represent us in this way, but I'm so grateful and just happy to see everyone. I'm telling you, I would have never thought, and here I am, and had I let fear or doubt stop me, I wouldn't get to represent my parish, my country, the world. This is so incredible, and it means that a lot of us can. We are in our own way. Get out there. Try, man. Jamaica needs you. Jamaica needs us.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says Miss World 2019 finalists from Nigeria and India have accepted the government's invitation to visit Jamaica. This request was made shortly after their enthusiastic display of support for the crowning of Jamaica's TONI and SINGH. Mr. Bartlett made the announcement during a lunch for Miss SINGH and her family on Saturday. Mr. Bartlett said Miss Nigeria Nikachi Douglas and Miss India Suman Rao will visit Jamaica in the first week of March. And in sports, diver Yona Knight Wisdom is the first diver to ever be nominated for the RGR Sports Foundation Sportsman of the Year, and the Aquatic Sports Association of Jamaica is looking to take advantage of that. As Denise Walters reports, he is also one of 2 athletes nominated for the National Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year Award for 2019.
Martin Lynn, president of the ASAJ, says Yona Knight Wisdom's recent Sportsman of the Year nomination has motivated the diver to work harder.
Number one, it has had a positive spin-off for Yona himself. He's already, and winning the Prime Minister's Youth Award the other day, definitely has put him already elevated and determined to go further. But I see no reason why he won't qualify for the Olympics, because he's definitely on the right track.
Lynn credits Knight Wisdom for doing so well in a sport that should have hampered him based on his build.
Yona to diving is like Usain Bolt was to track and field, and I don't mean was in a negative sense. I mean the fact that Yona's physique, if you look at divers, they're all at a certain level, and then Yona pops up, and then the divers continue below. So A, he's above height that divers usually are. B, he's muscular. So what you find is that Yona has to train harder than other divers to achieve the same result.
He added that the profile of diving has risen in Jamaica and the association will be capitalizing on it.
The concept now for this new administration of the ASAJ is in fact to get 2 diving boards for the National Aquatic Center and start a homegrown diving program. So that definitely, and again, with a Yona backative in terms of media, in terms of worldwide recognition, everybody will understand that you can go very far with the discipline of diving.
Knight Wisdom became the first Jamaican diver to earn a medal at the Pan Am Games, garnering silver in the 1-meter springboard. He is one of 5 male nominees. The awards gala takes place on Friday, January 17 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston. Live coverage will be on TVJ, TVJSN, OneSportsMedia.com and Hits 92 FM. Denise Walters for TVJ Sports.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, happy holidays and have a wonderful afternoon.